Well, I remember after the first heart surgery, I could barely walk, for weeks. But I remember it was about a month and a half after my first one where I was able to actually jog. And the feeling that, it was like one of the happiest days of my life just to jog.
Go chase him.
It was fun. I don't want to.
My name's Owens. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I was born with a heart condition, bicuspid aortic valve specifically, which is I have 2 openings instead of 3. I grew up thinking nothing was wrong with me. My parents didn't want me to grow up thinking I had heart problems, so I just thought it was normal to go to these doctor visits. So it was kind of out of nowhere for me that I needed this heart surgery. And I ended up needing my aortic valve replaced, and I also had an aortic aneurysm. That surgery was done in October. He said I would have been dead by December if we didn't go in. When we did, after a few months of recovery, I went back to playing basketball. 2 years later, we won the state championship. I was all-state, and then I went off to play college basketball. After my senior year playing college basketball, about 2 weeks after the season ended, I couldn't run half a mile. And granted, I was the team captain. I led the team in minutes played. I played all game, every game. And then 2 weeks later, I couldn't run half a mile. I couldn't go upstairs without being winded. So 6.5 years later, after the first one, I had to go back in, and they had to cut me open again and replace the same valve that they replaced 6.5 years ago. I came out of that surgery. I was in the hospital for another 8 days in ICU. I came out in a complete heart block. It just felt like I was suffering, and I thought that this was kind of what my life was going to be like. When you've had to sit there and face your mortality like time and time again, you kind of just stop caring about a lot of things. So I didn't really care. I just wanted to be free. So I didn't care if I went running and something were to happen. I just wanted to kind of do things on my own. I just wanted to do whatever I could to be healthy again. And so for me, that was trying to find what foods I need to be eating, what medications I should or should not be taking, exercise I should be doing. And I think I slowly started transitioning back into athletics. Growing up playing basketball, running was the one thing I could do on my own. It's easy to just stop. Your mind tells you, what are we doing this for? Let's just stop. But I think that's what I like about it. I think I've spent so much time in my own head, in my situation, suffering, that I like to go back and try to put myself into similar situations where I feel uncomfortable, where I have to push my body. And I can just play in my head some of the things I've been through. And if it gets tough physically, I can surpass some of those feelings, because mentally I've been through so much worse than running a marathon or running 5-6 miles. So the furthest I'd ever run was 12 miles, and I ran 12 miles, and I thought, okay, I can just double that, and I'm basically in a marathon. Why not? I wanted to see how I would respond at mile 20 when my legs stopped working. I wanted to see how I would push through. I just wanted to test myself mentally. What would I be thinking about during the race? I'm competitive. I don't go out there to just do it. Like, I was going out there to try to win it. It's crazy as it sounds, but that was my mindset. And yeah, I hit mile 21 and my legs froze up on me and I could barely move them anymore. And so the last 5 miles took me last 4 miles, I think, took me an hour. But ultimately, I think on the other end of suffering is peace. And I think that's one form of suffering. And I think you can't get better by doing nothing. And I think ultimately I would like to run further. I want to try to run like 50-mile races, 100-mile races. In my mind, when I'm running, I think, okay, I'm like 99% of the world isn't doing this right now. So there's one thing I'm doing that I feel like, all right, I'm better than 99% of the people at. Everybody's trying to find a quick fix to feel better. I think if they could bottle running and put it in a pill, everybody would take it. the feeling that you get from it, the accomplishment you get from it. It makes me a better person. I think there's so many benefits from it, and I think in my head I want to be like being someone with a pacemaker and has these heart issues, and knowing I'll need another heart surgery. I want to like be the furthest to ever run with my condition. So in my head, it's kind of my mantra is like, I can be the best at this for what I have. Whether I actually do anything with it, it just something that pushes me.